Over the past 20 years, obesity has become an epidemic in the U.S., causing over 200,000 deaths per year, and is the cause for many health-related problems.
Obesity has become an epidemic because of changes in our lifestyles that have become increasingly sedentary. And in addition, people are eating higher calorie-rich, dense foods as opposed to more natural, unprocessed kinds of foods. The eating habits for the average American has changed in the past 20 years in that there's far more availability of processed foods that build in additional calories through their additives. And so many of the foods that we now eat have more calories than they would have in the past, not having been processed. The speed at which individuals eat may have an effect on them becoming obese, in that they're focusing far more on filling themselves up and not really on tasting the food nor on the quality of the food. So I would imagine that that speed would increase the caloric intake in any one sitting. The relationship between depression and obesity could be linked. I don't believe it's cause and effect that is too simplistic, nor do I believe that depression is necessarily rising. However, for people who are tending towards obesity, they may look to eating foods to help cope with difficult circumstances, which then forms a cycle of where they're using food in order to help alleviate the depressive symptoms they have, and then they become depressed because they're then heading towards obesity.
Today in America, statistics show that 33.8% of Americans are obese and 12% of children are obese.
I think that it is certainly possible for Americans to reach the 75% mark of obesity. That would certainly be a possibility. I don't know if it's entirely obesity or just being overweight. The trajectory of Americans today could shift with some strong intervention from governmental support to increase exercise, as well as the availability of low-cost, nutritious whole foods. I believe that if the obesity epidemic worsens, that the government should make drastic intervention to treat it. Governments that focus on healthy activities and making sure that everyone has access to affordable, nutritious foods would be part of the drastic intervention. In addition, they could provide subsidies or discounts for insurance for those people who regularly exercise and lead a generally healthful lifestyle. The key elements that must be changed in order to avert the increase of obesity in the U.S. is by starting very early in the life cycle of helping people make good, healthy choices for their food intake and leading a lifestyle that is active and includes exercise on a regular basis. This then will require quite a few policy changes to allow people the time and the space in order to engage in these kinds of healthy exercise activities. Certainly encouraging people to bike to work and creating safe ways of doing that would be a way to help to avert the increase in obesity.
It is very important to become more aware of nutritional benefits and to know the types of food one consumes, as in caloric intake and fat content. The more people are educated about good nutrition, the more likely people will be on the pathway to good physical health.